What is up, guys? This is Zach, New England Sports Talk tonight, running a solo with you guys. Tonight we're going to be recapping the 76ers Brooklyn Nets Game 3. This one was really good. This one was a thriller. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this game, so let's just jump right in, guys. So tonight, Greg Monroe gets a start. Joel Embiid is out, gets out. He does his shoot around, but he decides he doesn't want to play tonight because of the knee soreness that he's got. So tonight, the Nets really came off starting off hot tonight. Really crashed the glass on the offensive rebounds tonight. That was really apparent starting off the game, and they really attacked the paint early. They were going at Greg Monroe early on. They knew what the game plan was. Maybe the game plan changed a little bit last second because nobody really knew that Joel Embiid was going to be out until really the last second. So at that point, they knew where they needed to attack, and they really got after it. But after the end of the first quarter, Philly ended up shooting 57%, from the field goal, and really just, after the first real big push from the Nets, the 76ers made adjustments. They slowed down the game a little bit. They got their shots, and they ended up shooting 57% from in quarter one. So on the field goal, they shot 57%, and that really gave him that eight-point lead in the first quarter at the end of the quarter, and really made sure that they maintained that early push that the Nets were coming out after, because all the stuff that happened in the media this week, everybody's talking crap with each other about Joel Embiid, and he's laughing. And after game two, in that press conference, Jared Dudley gets his comments in and things like that. It was pretty obvious the Nets wanted to come out and show something to their team. And the 76ers, they gave it up a little bit at the beginning, but then they kind of got back to normal basketball. Jumping into round two, Karis LeVert was hot. Quarter two, okay, he hit four floaters in a row. Four floaters. He realized again, get in the paint, shoot those floaters. If Greg Monroe isn't going to step up to you, you just shoot the floater right over him. That's all you got to do, really. And he realized that early. He got four floaters in a row. He made three pointers by the end of the quarter, and then he missed one shot and got a huge putback on it as well too. So he was really the main reason why the Nets really were competitive still in the second quarter. Now, they only outscored the 76ers by 2 points. It was 33-35 after the second quarter. Which team scored how many points in the second quarter. It was 33-35, so the Nets barely got an edge on that. But that really kept him in the game. Like I said, he was hot. He knew what the game plan was. He really was bringing into it with them tonight. Now, the big problem, though, is that did not transfer over to quarter three, though. Who else got hot? Redick. JJ Redick got hot. I felt like the whole game, really, they got on that real quick early start. The 76ers did after quarter three, or into quarter three, rather. And then at that point, once they had their lead, the whole game just slowed down. I felt like every other possession was a free throw. Like every foul, they kept calling everything. A lot of foul shots that were shot in quarter three. LeVert really wasn't a focus anymore, which is really weird. Like he was going off. Maybe it doesn't always transfer over, and they've got to keep making adjustments. And the 76ers obviously made adjustments as well too. But he really didn't get his shots off as many as he did in quarter three. And really, I thought at this point you need to feed the hot hand. Now, Redick went 4 for 5 from 3-point line and ended with 16 points in the quarter total. And the Nets did finish strong, though. So that was the thing. I felt like it was more of like, you have your run, I'll have my run kind of night. The Nets started off strong, the 76ers counteracted. And then the Nets did it again with Karis LeVert in the second quarter, and then the 76ers ended up, being chill a little bit more at the end of the second quarter. And then at the third, it was more of, of the 76ers starting off strong, and then by the end of the quarter, the Nets really put up a 9-0 run, ending the third quarter, and that crowd was into it. Their crowd was pumped. They got good shots. They were playing good team basketball, and so on and so forth. Now we switch into quarter four. That's when Boban got fouled. He fouled out. 7 minutes left in the fourth. He was a huge part as well, too, in the 76ers game plan. Obviously, again, Joel Embiid was not in. They need players to step up. That was somewhat Greg Monroe, but really Boban had a pretty good night. 8 rebounds, 14 points. He had 1 assist, but he only played 18 minutes. Greg Monroe played 25 minutes, and he really is a liability on defense. He's going to get you rebounds. He got 13 rebounds tonight, but when Greg Monroe is in the paint, he's not coming after you. He's going to sit there and get the rebounds and box out. So he's decent at boxing out, but when it comes to actually playing post defense, it wasn't there for him. That's not his game. That's not what he does. Boban fouled out 7 minutes. That's really the point where, as I'm watching the game, D'Angelo Russell was subbed in at that point. Spencer Dinwiddie was on the court at that time as well too. Your quick offense kind of guys were in the game at that point, and that's the part where you kind of expect them to start on this run. One person who did not step up tonight, which really should have had his mark on the fourth quarter, was Joe Harris. Joe Harris played 29 minutes, so almost 30 minutes, and he made 8 buckets or 8 points. That's all he had. He really is not shooting very good from the 3-point line right now. That's the real big issue with him right now. He's a dead-eye 3-point shooter. Everybody knows it at this point. He's great at 3-pointers, but as a whole, he wasn't the sharp shooter that he should have been. Excuse me. The Nets shot 43s tonight, only made 8 of them. They shot 20%, basically. The 76ers shot 27 threes, made 11, and they shot 40%. So, again, kind of what we talked about yesterday is that a lot of times with these teams, it's coming down to 3-point percentage. It's an NBA league that shoots a lot of threes. And if you can't shoot good threes, you're going to struggle. And that's exactly what it was. There was points in the game where they were making threes and the game was close, because they're playing their shots, they're getting good shots, they're going off ball screens, finding the backdoor cuts. If they can't have a three, they get easy layups at that point. But it just didn't. Shots don't hit. It's just shots aren't hitting right now, which was real a shame tonight, because I figured that this would be the night that the Brooklyn Nets really get it together and get things rolling. But that was not the case tonight. Anyways, back to the fourth quarter. My big thing the whole game, it seems like, was Simmons. So he laughs at the press conference. Joel Embiid laughs at the press conference as well too. Joel Embiid doesn't laugh until Ben Simmons laughs, and that's pretty obvious as well too. So you come out and you guys give that statement about how he can't play. He's only good in transition, but when you slow him down, that's when he's average. He's not. He's so essentially. They were running a lot of zone, which I get it. He can't shoot from 3. He can't shoot outside the paint. So you switch to the zone. The zone wasn't working because he kept getting assists to throw it to the 3-point guys, and they kept making 3-pointers, like we just mentioned a second ago. My point is, my problem is who's the best defender on the Nets? Is it DeMar Carroll? Is it Rondé Hollis-Jefferson? Is it, let's see, I don't think it's Joe Harris. Is it Spencer Dinwiddie? Is it Jared Dudley? Is it any of those guys? The problem is Ben Simmons is like 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is. You've got guards, point guards lining up against him. If Jared Dudley plays 17 minutes a game, if DeMar Carroll, well, I'll highlight DeMar Carroll for a second. If he's playing 28 minutes a game, I don't get why we're not double teaming him. Why if DeMar Carroll is a great defender, I mean, I wouldn't say great. I guess I would say above average. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm saying he's a 4. So he's not an all-star type caliber defender, but the dude is a defender. He's a defender on the team typically. That's what he was in Atlanta. That's what he was in Toronto, and the places that he's played in, and he's been good in that role. The problem is he. Nobody could really guard Ben Simmons, but I don't get why he doesn't have that specific assignment. Put him on Ben Simmons. Foul him a little bit. Make him go to the free throw line. Now, I did notice that Ben Simmons kept making those free throws at the end of the game when they tried to intentionally foul him. But put DeMar Carroll on him early. Frustrate him. Reach. Make him shoot free throws. Slow the game down. Because he is right. He's very good in transition. Maybe not that he's a bad half-court player, but his strong suit is obviously the fast break. He's taller than everybody. He has no problem seeing over anybody, and he's quick as well too. He's long, he's quick, and he can get the ball out and push. Or if he's the one pushing, then he can make the right pass or get the easy dunk or get the easy layup. If you're going to slow down the game, which typically happens in the playoffs, and you're running these half court sets on him, put DeMar Carroll on him and don't leave. Don't quit switching on things, because what's going to happen is you're going to switch, and then you're going to put Karis LeVert, who's like 6'2" or 6'3" or whatever he is, 6'4" maybe. I don't know what his height is. You're going to the point is you're going to put a smaller guard on him, a smaller point guard on him, and he's just going to go to work. That was the thing all day long. I get it. It's this NBA now. You shoot a lot of threes and you switch a lot, but when you have something like Ben Simmons who can't shoot a three and refuses actually to shoot a three at all, I don't think you should switch at all. Maybe depending on the matchup, like Redick, you need to switch on him. Tobias Harris, you obviously need to switch on him. But Ben Simmons, probably not. I mean, just hedge the screen and stay with your guy and try to get over it. Now, going back to the 76ers, there was a lot of guys who stepped up. Jimmy Butler, I thought that actually would step up a little bit more. Now, he played 38 minutes. He had 16 points. He didn't have a bad game whatsoever. I was just expecting him to be on the higher end of the point totals today, which he wasn't. But that's okay. Tobias Harris had 29. Ben Simmons, like I said, had 31. J.J. Redick had 26. Boban, like I said, he had a great game as well, too. He had 14. So as a whole, that's kind of the thing with the 76ers is they have their starting unit and maybe their sixth man have great games typically where they score a lot of points, 20-plus points or whatever in a game. Just like tonight, they had three players that scored over 20 points, one of them going to 31, like I said, with Ben Simmons. But my point is that everybody had a great game with the 76ers. It looks like that they just played good defense, good offense. It translated. There was points in the game, which is going to happen in every single game, where you get behind or the other team makes a run. But it's all about how you react to those runs. What did they do? Well, they played Ben Simmons' game. They switched. They made the Nets switch on to Ben Simmons with a smaller guard, took advantage of it all night long. And then when they ran the screens with J.J. Redick, he's just hitting shots. Tobias Harris, they're just hitting shots. These three-pointers, there's not a lot you can do when they're on. The only thing that you really can do is when they're hitting threes like that is hit them back yourself. But that's it, guys. That was pretty much it. Tonight I'm going to give another recap of the Warriors-Clippers game. That game's on right now, so I'm going to go catch that. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's something you want to talk about coming up, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.